What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, class swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are ready to go. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy, Anna, Bill, Corey. Good morning to Jeff, Joe, John. Joshua's in the house. Good morning to you. Good morning to Lauren, Martina, Natalie, Tim, all my people out in YouTube land. We got M Sky. Good morning to you. GK. Good morning to you. Daniel. Good morning to you. All my lurkers in the backgrounds. They're just not gonna say nothing all day. It's okay. It's okay. Just hit that like and subscribe button. But yeah, and it's okay, lurkers. It's okay. There was a message from Ben, self-proclaimed lurker yesterday. He said made 3 R's on Hood. Just going with some of the pre-market levels that we go over each and every morning. So I love to see that. I love to see that. Ray, good morning, Hostel. Good morning, Joe. Good morning. Yeah, we'll see. Pretty strong day for the market yesterday. Fantastic retest spot. So we were looking for a pullback. Wanted to see something maybe hold like 585-ish. Could have been a small one. It kind of kept going. All we really did was fill that gap, came right into that previous 578.84 zone, and then did not look back from there. So today. Usually after a big day, market gets a little bit quiet, especially if there's something on the horizon, which today is the big NVDA day. So a lot of people, whether you own NVIDIA stock or not, it's still going to be an interesting earnings report to look at just because it will affect a lot of other stocks. It will affect the markets as a whole. Their guidance will be absolutely absolutely paid close attention to as well. And if we could get green flags from NVIDIA, we might be able to get through some of the next levels, and then this market probably has the ability to rip. But you do have essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row, just kind of pulling back a little bit, pulling back, even trapping some bears, getting underneath this 581.02 zone, and then a nice little gap up. Good follow through yesterday. We're looking at a little resistance above us. Here's the bad news for bulls. Let's go bad news and good news. I don't like to just give bad news all day. Let's give some good news and some bad news. So for the bull case, the good news is there is some room higher. Also, the good news is that you do have 590.80 as a little bit of support, so that would come in small pullback at open. We're opening above that for today, but somewhere right around that 590.80 zone, look for a little support. So it's a little something to sink your teeth in to find some support. And then the bad news is you do have a absolute monster amount of resistance. So the first one is 592.96. So there is some room up there. Just there's not much. And then you got about 593.49, the big one, 594.03. I'd be very curious to see if we could get a close above that, knowing that we have NVIDIA earnings coming out. We also have FOMC, the notes coming out today too. I believe that comes out at 2. I don't know how much the market's going to really pay attention to it, but maybe we see a little reaction during the day from that. I don't expect really anything that we'll just get more details, more clarity in terms of what happened at the last Fed meeting, but we've already had Jerome Powell speak. We kind of know where things go. So, but maybe gives us a little more clarity on how the discussions went. Other than that, yeah, close. Give me a close above really 594.18 ish, and that's a very strong sign for the market. And then it's up to Nvidia to either continue the run or completely clap us, and we will see what happens after the bell today. Q's. That's a bullish open on Q's. Spy has a little resistance, and if this is enough to just keep on pounding home, even this one though. So now you have 2 green days in a row. We are gapping up. Really strong support. I don't want to see a close. I would love to see a retest into 521.33, but I'm hoping some bulls step in there. That's where I would expect them to. So see if we get a small little pullback, about a dollar from here at open somewhere or throughout the day. 521.33 should be a spot that I'm looking to hold. Again, resistance not too far away. 523.79. It's not I don't think a major one, and I think a much bigger target for today, a much better target for today. As long as we get, still going to be there that resistance, but I think the next spot takes us to about 526.69. Anything past that, you're running into like this 528.47, and then Start getting some closes above there. I think we got 536.06, and we're very close to all-time highs back at that point. But this is a very, very good open. Even the close yesterday, very, very strong. Getting a close, higher volume past all that usually indicates that we are probably looking to go higher, providing that we don't get killed on NVIDIA. And then we'll see if the buy the dippers, which are in the market now, buy the dippers are here. Let's see if they maintain that status after NVIDIA. If it dips and if it just keeps running, this market is probably going to go crazy. We got Bitcoin, good consolidation on Bitcoin. So again, from I guess the first real breakout really came from May 18th. We've had a nice little run since then. An okay pullback. We're just hanging out. I don't think really anything too crazy in Bitcoin world for today. At least I think momentum still looks pretty bullish. We're just waiting on some of those moving averages to catch up, but not even really any real pullback in this one candle, I guess. And that did come down into a perfect retest spot, and we're still maintaining it. So, watch the high wave candle from yesterday. See if we could take out. Probably early warning signs would be really if you start getting above 110.89. That would be your first clue that probably about 111, 311 is the next spot, and maybe you could break higher from that point as well, but we'll see. UNH, first ticker that I see. Corey says, Sep, what's up to you? UNH is chilling for today, so pretty much gap down. It looked actually a little bit worse about 15 minutes ago, so we'll have to see where this one opens. Right now, you're still inside day, so you might have a little chop. Look for support around 293.28. If that breaks, the next spot that I'd be looking for is the low of yesterday, 289.23. There's not much really holding us up there, but psychologically, even from a bull perspective on things, at least you get good risk reward if it bounces. So you might see a little support down there. Otherwise, anything really under this 293.28 zone, there's really not much stopping us to 276.13. Not an amazing gap or anything. It is a retest gap though, so even though it's inside day, I don't think I was short here. If you're looking short, I wouldn't go long here either. But if it gets up to like this 295.22, that might be a very interesting spot to start to look to see if you could go short. That should be the retest into yesterday's close, and you'd also be a retest into the prior day's VPOC as well. So if that one bounces a little bit, that might be set up. Healthcare just not looking strong quite yet. So I'd still be leaning to the, although it's down a lot. It's down a lot, so I don't know. Maybe it starts to take away some of the downside benefits, but for now, I would be looking to not really go long yet. If it comes down further, I would be interested in trying to go long again. Otherwise, I like it a little more pressure to the downside. You got Lily. This one's doing something a little bit different than UNH, so this one's actually a gap up for today. It is a retest gap as well. Initial targets, and again, all these things have been absolutely taken out back and just beat over the head with a pillowcase full of nickels. So be careful on all these of like this is the day that you get these major turnarounds, but it is a gap up, so that's good. Looking for like 725.86 would be some kind of a pullback. It is a retest gap, still inside day. If you're going to take a stab at this thing long, that's where I would try to take it. Otherwise, your next resistance is somewhere around 735.36, and you're almost smack in the middle of that. So go either way on this one first, and then a little bit later after the bell, maybe you could try to play at least a little consolidation on that one. AVGO looked good. We did play that one for I don't know. I had the I was just using the numbers on my Excel spreadsheet, which I do change often based on the trade, and then sometimes I forget to change them. So we did take a trade on that one. I was thinking we were getting a 1.2, and then after I was like, oh, that was a 1.4. I'll take it. Lucky accident. But yeah, nice trade on that one. We had a good read on that one from yesterday. I love those gaps that are just opening above a whole bunch of VPOCs. That was yesterday. We saw the little retest. We played that one for the 1.4, and today you're getting that continuation. So you do have a longer term pennant pattern in here as well. So something like this. After a nice little bull run, and that's just a absolutely beautiful candle. For today, I do love the location that we're opening in. So my next resistance would have been 236.74, and we are taking all of that out now. Um, so maybe the retest is not a full retest of yesterday's VPOC. First spot I would look is 236.74, see what happens. Otherwise, if you do get that full on retest into like 235.29, you just get a better setup. You also do have, first of all, you're very close to all-time highs on Broadcom. Their earnings are right around the corner too. So you got June 5th, so Thursday of next week. We've, I mean, since April 7th, you're up absolutely massive. That's not an easy bar to break through for uh, AVGO to run into earnings with this type of setup. So I wouldn't play anything through earnings. You're just too high up there. If NVIDIA beats, that's good news for AVGO in this setup because NVIDIA is a little bit similar of a situation. But I think that we get this continuation longer. If Nvidia goes down or starts selling off of it, that's going to be a weak sign. And I think AVGO probably pulls back with that news as well. And then maybe, I mean, we still have about a week and a half until about a week and a half till AVGO earnings. So if they sell off due to Nvidia, that might set us up for a long into their earnings. But we'll have to see how this one plays out. It's not something that I want to hold overnight for day trade purpose. I do like the location, except for the fact that you do have 237.92 as a little bit of resistance. Anything past that, I think you get up to like 241.47. And then a strong push would take us to like 243.41. So I'd like the upside. I like this location a lot where we're opening, but I would love to see a little bit of a pullback. It's already fairly high on my list, so we'll leave it there. Google, Googl. I spelt it for you. I don't know why. You typed it, so I know you know how to spell it. Sometimes I just say things. Google was another one. Yeah, that was it's actually the number one spot on my list for today that I was watching. Again, fantastic open. It is a retest gap from yesterday, but we struggled with that resistance, so we couldn't get past this 173. We did technically get past it briefly for a few pennies yesterday. Pulled back, closed right into the resistance of 173.01 after hours enough for the market makers to push this thing up. So they took care of the hard part for us. We just have to see if we get that retest now, see if we get a pullback into 173, so about 47 cents lower. But I do like everything about this gap so far. It's just a matter of how to get in, I think. And I mean, look at this monster candle. This is when search was being taken over by everybody else in the world except for Google, primarily Apple. Got monster candle, lots and lots of volume. All of this closed, double bottom right at the top of that candle. So on a longer term perspective, I like Google to continue from here. Today might be a good case where you get to 176.07-ish, 176.20, somewhere in that range. I will look for this one for a high wave candle for a break. I'll look for a little bit of a bigger pullback, see if we get any hammers sitting close to 173.01 for me. But yeah, very high on my list on that one. Macy's retail is going crazy. A&F I know is going crazy, even though they reported earnings that were just okay and then lowered guidance. That's just enough to get them up about 25% on the day. So maybe some retail is also looking decent. Macy's does look good. Watch where this one opens though. So right now it looks good. We'll see if this one wants to open here. It's already kind of jumpy around. Jumpy around. I could spell Google, but I don't know how to speak English. This is wild. But it's jumpy around for sure. Watch $12.38. If that stays above that, the next target on this one, 12.72. And because we have some decent retail names moving today, maybe Macy's wants to continue this. This is also a retest gap, but I do like that location a lot. So I'd give this one 3 minutes at open, see if it forms a high wave candle, something we could take a break on. Otherwise, if after that first 3 minute candle, we're down below 12.38, let's see if you get a bigger pullback, maybe somewhere into like the 12.25 zone. But decent room, 50 cents on a $12 stock is not bad. What is it, 50, 60 cents? So maybe a little bit of a tighter range than some of the normal stuff that we trade, but retail is on fire today. Hims. Mm, Ames is chilling for now. This is, I mean, retail stocks. I mean, look at GameStop. Look at AMC yesterday. You're getting those crazy AMF today. We're kind of back in the 2020 zone where the retail names are running. The only downside to Hims is it's already made that move. You have a pretty clear double top, ran right into resistance. I would start drawing fibs on this one, going back from starting at like 25.04, and then the high of that fib is $66. I would think that about just eyeballing this thing, probably about 50% is around 46.90. So if this one longer term wants to get there, that might be a better spot to try to get into this from a longer term perspective. Otherwise, I think there's a lot more names that haven't moved that might get that continuation or start to get that move. Big spot on this one, which we did come down. We did retest 52.09 for today. It's not really doing anything. It's a gap and go small inside day. Even if this continues bullish, watch for 54.52. That is going to be a decent resistance. I don't want to short it. I don't want to. No, I'm crazy, but not that crazy. I don't know. We'll see. Jeff says UNH put in a 5 minute double bottom yesterday at 50% retracement. Yeah, it just depends if we can hold those levels. If we can hold the levels, that double bottom will hold. Otherwise, if you think it comes down, which the next spot I have is about 276 for a better retracement. So if that double bottom breaks, that might give you a good indication for a short. Microsoft, not too far off the all-time highs on Microsoft. Again, do I want to be the guy buying here for a long term? Probably not. Unless I just want a cool story to tell people. Um, but I think I have a lot of stories. I think I do. I have enough story. Yeah, you know what? Come to think about it, I don't want to be the guy buying here. But nice little gap up, $2, about maybe $1.30 higher or so. Yeah, about $1.30 higher. It's got some more room to continue to go higher. It is a retest gap, so even at open, I don't want to be the guy buying this one. See if this one pulls back first. If you get a better spot closer to about 459.57, that would get you better room to probably about 464.11 is where I have targets for potentially today if we do continue bullish. But I'm going to need a bigger pullback on this one to kind of get into Microsoft. We're in a very crazy spot. AMD says me. Before we go to AMD, let's go to Tesla, and I'll explain why in a second. On Tesla. I like these setups. So you have good breakout, and then essentially nice little channel to the downside. You got the break here, and you took off. After that break, after that takeoff, what do we get? That channel, and we got this candle here. Tesla looks pretty on fire for today so far. It is gapping up, but very similar to what we just saw on that previous little sideways chop. You did have, or I had at least some level at 362. Hold on, no, maybe it wasn't. Maybe at 362.55-ish, somewhere about there. Or actually I have 362.10 exactly. That blue line. That was a big resistance for me. And then we got to close. VPOC was pretty much right at it. VPOC or the stock itself closed above VPOC and that level. I think Tesla goes higher from here. It looks that way. It looks like we might just be doing this thing again, which would be a nice move. Next huge resistance on the Tesla is somewhere about 380. I'll call it like 379.39-ish. And then you have one more resistance, I think, that we have to watch for today, 369.18. This is a retest gap, so I don't know about buying it out of the gate. Yesterday it opened and kind of almost flew. It was definitely looking a heck of a lot stronger than a lot of the other stocks right out of the gate yesterday. And we'll have to see how this one plays out. But 370, the next big level for here. The reason I go to Tesla, and maybe we don't play Tesla today because it's not a huge amount of room. But the reason I go to there is because you guys said AMD. So what do we have on AMD? Well, very similar. We got that nice little run up. We've got that kind of channel down sideways, and we have that gap right there. I had a target on AMD yesterday where I think we could get some resistance was about 115. We got to 115. We got over 115. So impressive by the bulls. And today we are gapping above that 115 zone. You're still going to be dealing with some of these. AMD is not Tesla, so it is different. But we already got into that 200 once. We rejected it. Maybe that second time becomes a little bit easier. And now you also had that initial pullback where the bulls, either some shorts could get trapped in here, making it a little stronger for the bulls. But yeah, watch 117.69 for today. That would be a huge level. We can start getting past it. Then I think you get your 200. So do we absolutely just rip? No, but this is definitely on the watch list for potential breakout. It does have that same kind of Tesla feel to it, where you get those just sideways chops, good gap. Even over here, it kind of did it too. So here's our big move. There's our sideways or just a lot stronger of a down move. Good gap out of it, and we got some follow through next couple days. I think that might be setting up like this. So we'll see. We'll see on this one. Uh, Let me see. I'm just pulling up random tickers that you guys are telling me. So GameStop was I mean it's been breaking up for a while. Do we see the big short again? With the big squeeze that we saw back in 2020? I don't know. Anything's possible. But beautifully looking breakout so far. It's up pretty high. I know probably a lot of people waiting for a retest, but somewhere back into this zone. The fact that we're above all that is good. We are approaching another little volume zone in here today. Why we're up, I don't know if there was exact news. Looks like we have earnings coming out around the corner, so maybe a pre-run up into earnings. But they do have $4 billion of cash just laying around. They are trying to make from what I heard, they're trying to push themselves into the crypto space, buying Bitcoin, kind of imitating Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy a little bit. You guys play it how you want. I don't know. If there's a pullback, it could look interesting. Otherwise, um, yeah, they have earnings on Wednesday of next week. We'll see how that plays out. And again, I don't know if we get that big short squeeze that just goes to $800 again. I think doubtful. But that's a great close yesterday. Seeing some continuation today makes sense. Let's see if I have another level back here. I don't really have technically another level to about $43, so that's about from here $8 higher, which is a really, really good return if you get that move. Um, 3 days of bullish buying. I would have to see if we get a little pullback first. Watch for like $35, 34.93-ish, somewhere in that zone. Apple AAPL is hanging out. Nothing too crazy yet. Yeah, still decent resistance up until like the 202.13 zone. At least we're getting a gap today. It is also a retest gap. You have your first support, 244. So if you get the pullback, and I don't know which way this thing's going to open, but I think you have a lot of moving averages still. I think Apple's still just on a struggle bus. We might need earnings, and earnings I don't think saves Apple here, but what will save them, and they've been very good at doing so, is just manipulating the stock. And they do that by doing buybacks. So if we get news on buybacks, or maybe we get a new product hype or something like that, besides a new case for the phone, which is the last Apple commercial. I I was like, man, all they do is change colors, and then they didn't even change colors. They just have a new Apple case, and that was a new commercial. SoundHound. So they're gonna need a story, I think, for Apple. Yeah, SoundHound is really good day yesterday. Really good day. Kind of imitates the AMD and Tesla that we were just talking about. So nice little run up. There's your sideways channel, gap above the channel, and just massive, massive push, which is nice. Other than that, we have we're opening into resistance, technically a little bit of a retest gap. It is opening pretty much where it closed. Let's see if this one could drop a little bit further. First spot that might hold, and maybe we don't get to yesterday's VPOC, although it's not too far away. It's not impossible. Yesterday's VPOC would take us to about $10.91. If this wants to really remain that strong, I'd like to see it stop and hold somewhere around $11.04. So I know it's pennies difference, but on a $10 stock, that matters. Let's see where this one opens from here. I would like this little bit of a pullback first, but most likely, I think if we just have a resting day, this is a big, massive day. I could see a resting day coming today, and then maybe we push tomorrow, especially if NVIDIA's earnings are good. But that next stop takes us to 1185, and then if we get past that, probably off to the races. We shall see. Let's see if I missed a couple. SMCI. Looks okay. Decent gap. Didn't have quite the follow through. But maybe today that starts to roll in. I have two big spots right above me that would issue a little just caution in the bullish direction, or maybe not the easiest day trade today. But watch for $42.37. That's a big one. And then the next resistance is 42.59. Both of those have to get above. So we're gonna have to start getting above that. And then your next big resistance, 43.67. Good news for SMCI Bulls. We are above that 200. So that was a good, not a good close yesterday, especially with that wick. This is a really nice open though. Uh, just watch out for some of that resistance. So I'm gonna move this one higher on the list. We'll move this one up here somewhere. Just to see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to take a trade on it. I'm a little worried that we don't hit targets on it, but it does look at least fairly bullish at open. Still inside day though as well. Okta. So Okta did report earnings. I think they were pretty good, but the market disagreed. So earnings they did beat by 11.69%. They also beat by revenue by 7.72 million. So nice report. However, gap down. I don't think due to again the earnings, but this is what I'm afraid on some of those other names we just looked at. Really, really good run. Much different earnings than from back here, where you were just getting kind of kicked in the face if you were a bull, and then they still reported good earnings. I think long term, Okta's a good company. Uh, but you have a nice little gap up on that one from earnings. This one's going to play out differently, mainly because of which people made their money already. But this is not a great looking gap. So maybe I think if you get a little retest, because we're down a lot, I think they also got upgraded to like 115, something like that. I think there was some early reports out this morning. But I think look for resistance somewhere around 111.61 or a monster resistance around 113.28. You're down a lot. I don't know. You do have this gap fill to 104.92. I wish we weren't down so much already, and that would be my target. Otherwise, a few supports in there. I think that still has to be my target. I don't really have much else that could really stop me until like maybe, I don't know, 105.43. Maybe make that your target. But I'd rather this thing get bought up first and then kind of play that down move. So I'll be cautious on this one. It does look like it is. It does look like it's probably a little oversold, but not to the point where I want to really go long on that one yet. Palantir, PLTR. What do we got? Less than a minute left. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Palantir, we have that's the morning bell. Nothing yet. Yeah, support 123.03, resistance 124.87, smack in the middle. Watch those two levels. Other than that, that was the morning bell. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you're not done so already. Otherwise, you guys are incredible, and